Hey everybody, we got this next eclipse coming up on October 2nd. It is a solar eclipse in the sign of Libra. I'm not going to get into all the particulars about what that means in and of itself, but I am going to talk about how to take advantage of the energy of an eclipse, whether it's solar, whether it's lunar, but it's coming up, and I just wanted to get this information to you so you could have some ideas about how to take advantage of this eclipse energy. Now, eclipse energies in general, like I said in my previous video, are very, very powerful energies. They symbolize change, they symbolize upheaval, they symbolize power, they symbolize just a very deep and expansive energy. It's a vibrational energy, is just very, very powerful and immense. So when it comes around, if we're not aware that it's around, then sometimes, you have these feelings, it kind of hits you a little bit. It's like either for some people, it might hit them as, I'm feeling like I just want to be alone. I don't want to be bothered with anybody. Or it might feel like a depressive energy because the eclipse energy is so huge and it's sort of like hanging in the air really thick, so you feel it, and if you're not aware, you might take it as, I'm feeling bad, or something's going on that's not good, or just an overall not so hot feeling. So you know that's why it's always important to take note of what is going on in the heavens, what's going on the earth, and what's going on with you in particular. So some can feel a chaotic energy, some it's agitating, some, it's just an overall kind of feeling of ugh. So when you have the knowledge of what the eclipse is about, or any planetary energies or heavenly occurrences, then you are more empowered to take advantage of it, whether it's doing less, doing more, or doing different. So I'm here to give you a few things that I think are helpful during the time of the eclipse. Like I said before, I love me an eclipse energy because it gives me permission to do that very deep work that supports this energy, supports the deep work, the kind of stuff that's underneath the surface that you kind of want to excavate and deal with and understand, and help and have the power to make changes, identify and make changes that you want. So that's what the eclipses do for me. And also I get a chance to take a step back and relax and kind of sit in the energy and then work the energy. Don't let the energy work you, work the energy. So anyway, during the eclipse, the also another thing that happens besides the very powerful feeling energy, immense energy that's going on, is that the veil is thinning between the earth and the spiritual realm. It's thinning, and it also is opening up portals that are more easily accessible. It's not like it only happens during the eclipse, but the eclipse also have their own version of doors opening into that next realm. So it's a little bit easier to get in touch with your spirit guides, your very ancient ancestors, and those high spiritual masters. Those kind of spirits that you don't easily get in touch with, because the physical realm is not where they hang out. That's not their happy place, so they come here only when they have to. But if you can meet them at a particular point in the spiritual realm, then you can have those meetups, those meeting points, those divine messages, sometimes just being in their presence, because it's all about energy, and sometimes being in those powerful, very ancient spirits' presence, it's all about energy exchange. It's not really about words only, but everyone's experience is different. We are very unique beings. So for some, it might be a whole download of energy. For some, it might be, the spirit that shows up and talks to you. It might be a spirit that just shows up and just looks at you, and you feel all of this kind of energy. So it really, really depends. And it might not be any of that. You might just kind of get into that spiritual realm and just kind of be and feel and kind of access your own power. So many things can happen. Just be open to the experience. No expectations, but definitely always have an intention. And then whatever happens, happens, and then you take it from there. And you're always aware, you're always in power. You're not being taken over by anybody. Don't ever feel like you are the powerless or less powerful being in these kinds of encounters or in this energy that's going on. See, this is all about empowerment. This is all about knowing who you are. And in knowing who you are and knowing what time it is and what's going on, you can take this energy and use it to your advantage. So, what I wanted to do is also relay that higher spirits, they have an affinity towards this kind of energy. So that's why you can, more easily get in touch with them. Another consideration during this eclipse energy is to take time for deep self-examination and awareness, not criticism. Examination, seeing where you're at, taking stock of who you are, your emotions, where you're at, what are your desires, what do you want, what's going on with you, why are certain things not feeling good or feeling great. It just really depends on where you are and what you want to examine. So deep self-examination also can go on during this time. But the thing is, like I said, no expectations, intention, and then you flow with it all. Now, some of the ways in which to take advantage of this eclipse energy that I can share with you from my own little, experience and things that I have noted over the years and researched and done my own self, is to meditate. Meditate, for like 10 to 20 minutes throughout the day. If you have that luxury where you have your own schedule plan to take these little mini meditations, it could even be 5 to 10 minutes, but just get into that alter state, get into that trance state, get into that state where you're coming out of the physical and going into the spiritual realm, so that you can be more aware of your messages and your divine messages, your messages from spirit. So if you keep yourself into that mode, then only when you can. Don't be operating no heavy equipment, driving, or any of that. You have to be in this place where you can do these things. So, take a chance, and sometimes just be quiet and be still and listen to that inner voice. This is a time to start to, hone your skills for listening within, because the realm within is way, way larger than the realm on the physical plane. So that's where you want to go to develop yourself spiritually. Guided meditations are good. You can use those. If you have some favorite ones, go right ahead. I have some on my YouTube channel that I'd be willing to share with you that are very helpful. You can do just a trance meditation where you're just sitting and you're allowing yourself to have that out of body, or that how would you say, that extra sensory kind of experience spiritually. When you're doing these things too, just have a notebook, because if messages come, you want to be able to write them down or record them, whichever one works for you. Another thing is, this is something that's really different, and it works for some people, a vocal meditation, meaning you do some deep breathing and you allow the sound of your voice to just come out any which way that it comes out. You'll be surprised at what kind of great feeling and relief and feeling of connection that you will have, because you're actually allowing your energy to express itself through your voice. Being a singer, that's a good one for me. I love the idea of that, and I love the way it makes me feel when I do it. So I share that with you. Also, journaling is good, for those who are more into their heads, journaling to get your emotions out on paper, to get clarity about some things is always good. And let's see. Yeah, so just take those moments little by little, throughout the day if you can, October 2nd, but the energy is leading up to, like, I feel it right now, today, in the moment of this taping of this video. I feel it, and also it will be lingering after. So if you can't have the day, just don't feel like you're going to miss the energy. You can do any day leading up to and after. The energy kind of resonates over and over again. It stays around for a while, and we just had one. So now you're getting another wave of an eclipse. Anoint yourself with oils, spiritual oils, to help you awaken your psychic energy, your psychic abilities, your psychic trance. Some of the oils can be like sandalwood, jasmine, holy basil. So some of the less known ones are spikenard, silver fir, galbanum, and you could just make you a little mixture and anoint yourself with that throughout the day. I know for me, aromatherapy always works with me to help to bring me into the state that I want to be in, whether it's for one thing or another. But if it's specifically for developing psychic abilities, it kind of helps me calm down and helps to heighten and give you that ability to go and increase your psychic awareness so that you can do the things that you want to do in meditation, also astral traveling and all of those types of different methods of traveling into the spiritual realm. So that's a couple of things that you can do. Drinking herbal teas is also very helpful. Herbs, of course, the herbs to calm you, the herbs to open up your psychic ability, sip on that throughout the day. And, so you can have a combination of anointing yourself with herbs, sipping on the tea, going into your trance states. And also another avenue of expression or spiritual connection that is something that a lot of people kind of, can do and resonate with is auto writing, where you get yourself into that trance state and you just let that pen or pencil, go over the paper, and whatever happens, whether it's words, whether it's images, whether it's symbols, you'll be surprised at what messages can come through auto writing. Another thing that is great is reading a sacred text or reading, text that takes you in, books or poetry or different types of stories that take you from the physical realm into the non-physical realm, more of a spiritual, into that spiritual zone. That's how spiritual texts are supposed to work. They're not supposed to be dealt with just with the left logical brain. It's supposed to be something that takes you more to that right side, where that's why poetry is so inspiring, because sometimes it flows in a way where it doesn't explain it, but it does tell you, and so you could come to your own feeling about it. So read some sacred texts, some poetry, anything that kind of gets you into that altered state during this time, because you're taking advantage of the eclipse energy, which will help to make this more powerful and more successful, because that's what we want. Spirituality, walking a spiritual path, is about knowing the energies, trying to understand the energies and working with the energies that are abound. Whether it's working with the different spirits, in the different traditions. And what I like about these particular things that I'm sharing with you is that they can be used by anyone in any particular walk, any particular faith, any particular practice. They are really just universal. So if it helps, I love it. And I hope it does. So I'm just sharing these tidbits with you. And one thing I also want to add is that you don't have to do none of this. Just relax, sleep, take naps. If you're feeling tired, because that's another thing that can happen. You can feel tired during this time, or you feel like something is kind of, weighing down, and you're trying to, walk, through mud. If that's the case, then that means you need to rest, and you need to take small naps, and don't feel guilty about it. And that's also nurturing yourself physically and spiritually. So it's all right. One more thing that's extremely important that I share about when you do these things during the eclipse is to cleanse spiritually. Smudge, light your incense up, your frankincense and myrrh, or your frankincense or your sage and cedar and sage, whatever you have that's cleansing. Whenever you do these practices, you cleanse and purify and set up your protection, whether it's through prayers, whether it's through incantations, whether it's through, just intention, set up your protections also, because when you're dealing in the spiritual realm with this kind of powerful energy, you want your, call on your spirit guides. You want your spirit guides, you want your spirit protectors and your ancestors that, are about protection, to be there and make sure that you are always protected as you walk into the spiritual realm. So I just wanted to also make sure that put that in there, because that's important. That should be ongoing. That should be something that's a part of your spiritual practices. And I also do want to advise that rituals, and ceremonies, uh, I don't believe that this is the best time to create any and do them on this during this particular time. Of course, if you're a part of a ATR or any African traditional religion or any other type of spiritual group, and you all have planned it, and it's something that is a rite that has that age old, test of time, centuries. Don't worry about that. That has nothing to do. I'm talking about creating something specific to do on the eclipse. Keep it simple, keep it basic, because you do have a lot of portals open, and you have, the veil is thin. So you just want to keep it simple, and that's it. So enjoy this eclipse season. This is the next to the last eclipse that's coming up. We got another one on October 17th, so I'll be back with some information about that too. In the meantime, take care of yourself, and we'll meet again. Peace.